How
What's
you
up,
doing?
big time?
I'm
I'm
good.
good.
I'm
Good.
I'm happy at least 32 people are here because I was worried if you put these things out there, maybe nobody shows up, and then you just
You
feel
were
like you
worried
made a
there will be
mistake.
31.
or nobody. It'd just be the three of us.
I think. Well, I'm never worried about nobody. I'm always worried about if it's just one person, because then what do you tell that person? You can't just not play the movie. We gotta like talk with that one
No,
person,
oh
right?
yeah. Oh no, I've been in plays where like 7 people have shown up and we've gone to the audience and said, "Hey, we will give you your money back if we don't want to do the play for 7 people."
Well, what
Well,
an experience that would be for them, though.
Yeah, but we were doing the LA Theater Festival back in the early 90s, and we are doing a play called Tracers, and we would have like 2 to 3 shows a day, and it was like a Vietnam War piece, and it was like crazy intense. So like you'd have like 4 old people in the audience who were like just there to see the Vietnam War play, and it was like it's better for all of us if we don't do this right now.
so well, we have a whole 5 minutes left. When you do this, like when you did this was Syndicate, the vampires, right?
No,
Do
we
you
just did it.
just like,
We did it in ours. Yeah, we just did Scream in our own Discord.
okay,
The
so when
vampires
you
was the
do,
spaces.
okay, so when you watch it, you did it was all for girls, right? Or you planned on it? I'm just saying, like, are we gonna just talk through the movie or how you want to do it?
Yeah, that's what we did for Scream. Like, we just basically everyone pressed play at the same time, and then we kind of talked. I would ask Matt questions because big nerd, so I was asking all my Scream questions. And then we would pull people up from the audience throughout to ask him questions about the movie that we're watching or just questions in
Okay,
general. Yeah, so we just kind of did it that way.
okay,
Unless you
pretty
guys,
cool.
unless you guys want to do it a different way,
Totally, yeah, we're open to whatever.
we're cool with whatever.
That's pretty cool. I think we already have hands raising. That's why I'm like, all right, we need to figure out how to do this. But I say we should at least start the movie before we start, pulling people up. And I'm gonna see if the watch party thing works for me.
Cool.
Okay, good. I'm gonna go grab a beer. I'll be back.
I just
Oh,
opened my beer. Cool.
all
Nice. All right,
right.
I'll be back.
All right. I'm just gonna tell people that the movie's starting.
Mm-hmm. Hey guys, I'm just typing here in the chat. For those who didn't hear, I'm gonna try to start a watch party through the Amazon because I just rented a movie myself. I've never done it before. I don't know if that's gonna work. So for those who did not buy or rent it, try to catch the link. I'm gonna throw in a cave once I hit start in 2 minutes, in case you will be able to use it to actually watch it with us. And
Very
that's what
cool.
I'm actually
Yeah, I
right
hope that
now.
works. That would be amazing if that works.
Yeah, I'm gonna here watch party in 2
Nice.
minutes.
Loving these gifts. Pop them cans.
My goodness, people that are hanging out. All right, 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. Whoever having their finger on the start button, it's about to happen.
Cool. Yeah, let's once Matt gets back, let's make sure he's in
So
sync.
what are you drinking? You said you just opened your beer.
Oh yeah,
Oh, spill the beans.
I have a Blue Moon Belgian White that's left over from last week. I did a little cabin retreat, so we just picked up some beer real quick. But there was a brewery in town up in Big Bear that we went to as well that had some really good beers.
Nice.
All
Matt,
right.
what are you drinking?
What are you drinking, Matt?
I'm having a
Those people
Stella
wanna-
Artois midnight lager. It's like an
Oh.
oil can in a beer. It's
Okay,
it literally will
just
put
so
out
you
like
know.
7 pounds of fat in one beer, and that's exactly how effing dads do it. Are we allowed to cuss? We're probably allowed to cuss, right?
I mean, now we're gonna
And
tell you
cereal,
no.
Mom. Oh, okay.
Like, seriously.
Is
All right,
what?
1 minute. I said, well, we're gonna tell you no. That's not gonna happen. Go
Oh,
ahead.
okay, good. I don't
Go
really
ahead.
cuss that much, to be honest.
Yeah, it
Well,
should
you
be
gotta
fine.
start now. All
You're gonna
right,
what?
1 minute. 1 minute. Oh,
Okay.
chat is happy over there. Yeah, my husband is a huge beer geek and he works in the industry. And when he heard about what you're drinking, he said, "Good fucking job." Here, I just
Oh,
cussed.
there you go. See, you broke the seal. You have broken the
Yep.
seal. So, we're gonna go like, Bill, are you gonna do it? Should we do like an intro and then talk for 2 seconds and then start the movie, or do you just
Well,
want to start
we
the
should
movie?
probably tell people about what our project is because most
Okay,
people don't
so
know.
whoever is in listening to us, do not hit play at 9
Yeah, we'll
right
do a
now.
countdown. We'll do a
Yep.
countdown.
Yeah,
That's what we
let's
It'll
do
be
it
do.
down together. That's
a
right.
very thorough countdown.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay. We're on the floor then. Fine. I'll sit
Cool.
here quiet.
Awesome. Yeah. So the Midnight Movie Club, we're starting the first decentralized movie studio. So yeah, it's going to be really exciting. We're going to be making actual movies, feature-length films. We're going to be doing genre movies, so like horror, sci-fi, action, thriller, that kind of stuff. And as we go through the process, we're going to be bringing our community along along the way, basically. And you're going to be voting on different aspects of the movie and changing things creatively. So we're going to put stuff up in the DAO, and whatever things the community votes on are going to be what we actually do for the movie. So things from casting, we might say, hey, these are 3 actors we're looking to go out to for this role. Who do you guys want to see us make an offer to? And obviously, there's no guarantee that people will say yes, but we'll go by what the community says. We'll do things in terms of like wardrobe, music choices, all kinds of stuff that we're going to be putting to the audience to decide. And then as we move forward and make other movies, we already have one movie that's lined up, but as we move forward, we're going to allow the community to actually select which movies we greenlight and go into production. So we'll have filmmakers come on. They'll give a little pitch. They'll have a lookbook, maybe some of their work that you can watch, and then maybe a couple pages from the script. And yeah, whatever movie the community says they want to see, that's what we're going to finance from the community wallet. So it's going to be really exciting. On top of that, we're going to have like a whole educational series, it's called Night School. It's basically going to be our digital version of film school. So you're going to be able to learn about the filmmaking process, things from like scheduling, budgeting. We'll have people coming on to talk cameras. We're going to have a lot of industry professionals coming and doing live AMAs, so you can ask your questions to other actors, agents, producers, all kinds of people from different departments. But yeah, we just really want to foster the next generation of filmmakers, and we thought what better way to do it than by building a strong community and starting an NFT project. And yeah, it's gonna be really exciting.
Yeah, one of the things that we're proud of, both of our names are on it. And we're, when we mint, the mint goes into the community wallet, and those are the funds we're going to use to make the movies. We're going to make 3 movies off the first mint. That's the hope and aspiration. And yeah, and like so we're going to mint this month, and then we go into production in the next 2 months, 2.5 months. So we will, by the end of summer, Bill, right? We'll have a feature-length horror movie to share with the community, which
in
we're
the
really
can,
stoked
yeah.
about. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's to be super cool. And look, our whole thing was, look, we wanted to create utility, right? We thought that NFTs, while they're, are super cool and they're collectible and exciting, we wanted to build community. So we're super utility and community first. So yeah, and we just want to start by saying, you guys, thank you so much for having us. I mean, the fact that you've opened your digital movie theater here for us and our community to let us get to meet your people is super cool. And I think that that's one thing this is our 4th week in existence. And we've just had an unbelievable reception across the board. And things are picking up. Like, we have so much traction and momentum right now. It's really exciting. It's all because of people like you guys, Roos, for letting us in and for letting us come and say hi and telling the people what we're doing. I mean, our whole thing is we're trying to build an organic film centric NFT, and we're pretty excited about the results so far.
Thank you
So,
for
yeah.
finding time, to come in and hang out with our peoples. And I also wanted to tell you that we got Anthony in here, which is our founder. So guys, meet
Hey,
Anthony.
what's happening?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Dude, we're really good. It's funny. I haven't seen this movie for a long time, so it's a little, I don't remember how bad it is. This could be the worst movie experience of your entire life, everyone. And if it is, I'm sorry. You can log off. I am here stuck for the next 2 hours.
Yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate you guys taking the time as well. We're glad to have you here.
Yeah,
it's
dude,
definitely a first for us too. And I think it's such a cool experience. I don't know. I'm super excited. Like, not that I've never been to a movie theater, but this is new and it's a pretty cool setting to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've done a couple during, obviously lockdown was a time where I think a lot of people were doing watch parties and stuff. So it's it's nice to get to do it with an even bigger group of people. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, but it's a little weird because we're going to be talking the whole time, so it is kind of a strange experience because I'll try to we'll answer people's questions. You'll come up, you can ask about my life, you can ask about the career, my career, you can ask about movies, you can certainly ask about Serial Mom, and we encourage all kinds of questions about Midnight Movie Club. If you're interested, please ask, and if not, we'll do our best to make it entertaining as we all sit and enjoy the film. But Andy, dude,
I'm
thank you so
definitely
much for
joining
having
in your
us.
school. Telling you that right now.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm gonna
I saw that on the website. I love it. I love that idea.
Cool. Can I post the Discord link in the chat, or will it be blocked?
I'll
People
think
want to
about
join
it.
Movie Club. Okay.
Go ahead.
feel
You
like
can post it.
Are you guys watching
I didn't know if it was blocked.
chat? Are you watching the chat or are you watching the room? I've been watching the room.
I'm in the
I've been
chat
watching
right now.
Oh yeah.
You can
Oh
post
good.
it. Go ahead. Go ahead. So tell me, that's a dumb question. I know its answer is a no, but are the owners of your NFTs going to be featured in your movies?
Are the what? Sorry, go ahead.
Are the
People-
owners?
Yeah, the people who minted your NFT.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Our whole idea is that, like, the dream scenario is that we grow a community. We grow filmmakers. We grow writers, directors, producers, and the dream scenario is that our entire film is made up of people, filmmakers from our community. One of the things we want to do is, if you're a member of night school, you're active in the community, your dream and aspiration is to be a part of the film industry, then we want to create opportunities for people to come work on that on the film set. So
Take my money.
Yeah, if we're in, like, if we're shooting in Atlanta and you love costumes and you are in the area and want to come in, we will set up an opportunity for you to come in.
Oh, I am in the area, okay.
To work as a PA, to work on, to sit and talk to people. And we'll also, look, every single step of the way of the filmmaking process, we'll have AMAs behind the scenes. End of the week, we'll show rushes from the movie. We'll show pictures. We'll have interviews with, whoever, the gaffer, the grip, the actors. So all the way through the process, I don't know, I'm not going to say every day, but, part of our utility is that we want to envelop people in the filmmaking process so they get to taste every single step of it from beginning to end. So
and then we also, for people that aren't local to where we're going to be, we want to offer international people to be part of the movie. So like we've talked about before, graphic designers, musicians, we want to have people being able to contribute things to the movie that'll be on screen. So for instance, if we're in a room that has a bunch of, like, the kids room that has a bunch of posters, or the kids wearing a certain band t-shirt, we want to have people in our community designing these things. We'll do like a community vote of like which design people like, run a contest, and then that will actually end up in the film. Or if you have a band and we're looking for a music cue, like there's going to be some music on the radio, we want people in our community to be able to submit their band's music to be featured in the film. It's anything that we can do for people that are, remote and in other countries. We want to get everybody involved no matter where you are.
That's pretty cool.
Dude, I can't get back into the room. How do I get back into the room?
In the cave?
Scroll down. Are you trying to go to the chat or trying to go in here to the?
No, I'm trying to come back to you. I feel left outside. I'm outside in the cold.
Scroll all the way down and
crap.
hit and hit the movie night.
Oh, good. I'm back. Guys, I'm back. I can see all your faces. Okay. Phew. You don't understand. I have all kinds of panic attacks when it comes to anything technologically based. And so when you put me on, like, Discord live, because I'm in my chat all the time. I was in the chat the other night in CryptoDads, and the thing went crazy. But yeah, anytime I get stuck, I start to panic. But look, why don't we instead look? That was our shill. We've done our job. Please ask questions if you're interested. We'll happily answer. But we want to watch the movie, so we should probably. Yeah. Why don't we get going and stop talking about ourselves?
Yeah, you tell us the countdown then.
All right, good.
Whoever's listening, if you rent it.
Yeah. So here's what I did. So I bought the movie because I should probably own it, because at some point on my deathbed, my kids should watch it. So I bought it. So I'm gonna hit play on my, and then I'll try to just talk us through so we're all lined up in the same place as it goes. But right now, my counter on the bottom right is 1 hour and 33 minutes and 47 seconds. All right, so I'm gonna start it. Ready? You guys, this is gonna be so fucking incredible. Oh, it's gonna be amazing. Are you ready? On your marks, get set, play.
Okay. I got like the FBI warnings. Is that where you're at?
No, I have the sun. I have the Universal emblem coming up.
I got the warning too. You rented from Amazon, didn't you?
I'm on Amazon, yeah.
All right,
Should
guys,
we sync up to like the title Serial Mom or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get to a good place because I'm ahead of you. I'm like Eva. I'm in the future.
Yeah.
I just shared the link.
Because the Universal logo plays twice during this, I've noticed as I'm scrolling through here.
And then the
Oh,
Savoy logo.
how about we start on the "This is a true story"? Pause it there, and then we'll count down and unpause.
Oh, that's where you are?
Well, I'm just looking for something that we can all land on.
Okay,
That'll
good.
be.
Oh yeah,
you
this
know.
is yo.
Is it really? I mean, that's got to be like a joke, right? Like, I mean, this
Yeah.
is obviously before Fargo, but
So this film is a true story is where I paused.
yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay, we're gonna start there. I'm hoping everyone's with us.
Okay.
I would go back to the chat, but I'm terrified to get locked out again. Ready, Ed? I'm gonna hit play. 3, 2, 1, play.
All right.
All right, it's going.
This film is a true story.
It's not. It's a total lie. It is not a true story. This is from John Waters. Everyone, if you don't know who John Waters is sort of like the grandfather of B movies and was like the king of smut. Like if anyone remembers Divine, who was a cross-dressing enormous man who was a cross-dresser, and I think that's the correct word. Who was in what was the movie where he
Pink Flamingos?
Pink Flamingo, yeah. He walked. They were shooting a scene. This is a horrible story. They were shooting a scene, and a dog took a poop in the background, and Divine went over and ate the poop in one shot.
Was that improvised or was that part of the script?
No, that is never part of a script. Nobody has ever written that in their entire lives. I would love to take a poll, by the way, of who in the chat knows who Kathleen Turner is.
Oh my
Because
god!
those
They
of us-
definitely know of her. If they've seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit, she's Jessica Rabbit. She does the voice. I
but
just
you
watched
wouldn't
Romancing the Stone the other day. That was amazing. Which, if you
A
haven't seen,
great
people.
movie.
And I just saw that new Sandy Bullock trailer, and I'm pretty sure that's kind of like an homage because it's like she's a writer, then she goes on this crazy adventure. It had very Romancing the Stone vibes.
Matthew Lillard, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone drink! Drink, damn it! That's hilarious. By the way, this is my first movie ever, so it's pretty exciting. I haven't seen it I haven't seen this movie in 20 years.
It had to be wild. A John Waters movie is your first film?
Well, it's before. So before I got the movie, John Waters was sort of notorious at that point, and you couldn't it was before the internet. I know, kids, that sounds crazy, but it was before the internet, so you couldn't Google. There was no such thing as Google, and I didn't know who he was, but there was a book written about him. So I got the job and I went to the bookstore and I bought this book on John Waters. And the book was talking about how his house had like a real electric chair in it. And like there was all these John Wayne Gacy paintings. And like he had an entire wall full of like serial killer books written by serial killers. And I was like, this guy's a freak. And then of course you have this Divine story where this guy's eating poop. And you're like, what have I done? I've made this horrible decision. And I went to his house, and his house sort of looked like this house. It was exquisitely beautiful. And he's the nicest, sweetest man. In Baltimore.
Oh, okay.
Hold on a sec. This is my first scene in a movie. You have to watch, Bill.
Yeah. This is You're so young. It's crazy. And you're still young.
I am.
But you're like a baby in this. Where did Matt go? Did he get rugged?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, what happened to Matt?
He got rugged.
I thought he was just watching. I thought he was just really into his first scene because I was in the chat.
I'm like over here grabbing snacks, and I just heard everything go quiet.
Yeah.
Right.
Matt,
Okay.
raise your hand if you're there.
I'm looking for him. I don't see him in there. Matt, come back.
I can only imagine he's having a panic attack right now.
Yeah, this is his worst nightmare. It's funny. I was looking up really quick. Matt said this was filmed in Baltimore. It's like a small town outside Baltimore. This their house actually was just up for sale last June. This
Oh, wow.
Super
Really?
Mom house. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, kind of dope. Could you imagine? It's got to be so weird for people that like their house winds up in a movie.
See. I'm sure the value of it went up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's something I did in California in 2015. I went to the house where they filmed The Bodyguard, the
Oh no way.
Whitney Houston's house. It was for sale
Yeah.
for $9.5 million because of what it is.
Wow.
Yeah, we actually
Jeez.
drove up to it and looked at it. It was pretty cool to be there because I know it's a pretty old movie, but I really loved it. And yeah, we drove and found the house, and it was not an impressive house for
Well, there's
now.
Matt. I see
Back
him in
then,
the. I see Matt in the
okay, let
audience.
me grab
He
him.
popped up.
Oh,
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, last
Hadn't
time he just
noticed.
showed up in here, so I don't even know if I need to invite him.
Maybe I
There he
finally
is.
realized and I kicked him out.
he's back.
Welcome back. You're
Hey,
muted.
hey. He just lets himself in and out. I love it. Matt,
We'll give him some
You're
time.
muted still.
he's not gonna want to talk to these people.
Oh, and he's gone.
Oh no, he must
Oh,
be
I should
having
check
some
my.
internet.
Oh, you know what? Really quick, while we have this this intermission, so I created a POAP for this event. If you guys download the POAP app, you can click Mint in the app and then secret word, and the secret word is cereal, all lowercase, and that's cereal as in cereal mom, not cereal as in breakfast cereal. So that's the POAP app. POAP. Oh, here he's
Thank
back.
you for making that, by the way.
Yeah, no problem.
Secret word. Cereal. Oh shit, it's Minton.
Nice.
You okay?
Oh, Matt's calling me. Hold on one second.
Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties.
Okay, so Matt said he's on stage, but it's giving him an error saying that you need one of the mods or server administrators to unmute him. So maybe try to right-click his name and see if he gets unmuted.
I see mute. 1 second. Let's see. It's telling me to mute him. I just muted him and then unmuted him to see if that would do anything. But
Yeah, I did that too. It didn't help.
here, I know what we're gonna do.
Maybe invite him to speak yourself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that way he's not sneaking up here.
And no, I don't know how he just walks in and out. That's pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
And
It's that star power. They can just do what they want.
invite him to speak real quick.
Yeah, he came back up.
Wait, where'd he go? I just saw him. I saw him in
He's
the
on
chat.
he's back on the stage.
Oh, there he is. Here, Matt, if you can hear us, leave, and then I'm gonna actually invite you up to speak to see if that makes a difference. Cool. Okay. All right, I just invited you. Let's see if that will
You're gonna have an invite like on top of your Discord. There you go.
get up here.
Did you click? There's a mute button on the bottom left of Discord. Matt,
It's like a
make
little
sure,
microphone.
yeah, make sure that that and the headphones are all.
Weird, it was letting him talk earlier.
Yeah.
Anthony, can you mute yourself for a second? I want to see something what it shows for you.
Yep.
Yeah, it says he's muted on the server.
Huh.
Look, if you put the mouse over the microphone that's showing on the side of the voice channel, it says he's muted on the server. Server muted. What the heck?
Let me do a quick Google.
I'm back.
Hey, what'd you
There
do?
you go.
I
There
don't
you
know if
go.
that was. Remember when I said I panic when things go bad? I'm like, oh my god, I can't speak.
You have to crack another beer and double fist to make up for that.
Oh my god, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, I was literally enjoying my first moments of my first movie ever, and then I was gone. Yeah. Oh, you guys. So it's so funny. The movie's so 1993. Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
Look at the little picture of me on the left. Look at the bottom left. That's me.
Yeah.
I look like a frog. That's my whole high school experience, just looking like a frog. By the way, that's Mink Stoll. And Mink Stoll is like a legend in the, and she's still a legend in the.
God damn you!
Dude, lower your TV where it's picking up on the thing.
It's classic. But she is like this legend in John Waters' film. She's hilarious. Yeah, so we shot in Baltimore, and like it was one of those things that I was an actor and was going to school in New York City, and I had this audition. It was my third audition, so my story as an actor is ridiculous, and it's because if you look at me in this movie, I'm like I look like American cheese. I look like this all-American kid at the time, and I was in school and I got this audition, and it was for this movie serial mom. And I went into audition. They said, "Yeah, we'd already hired this guy, but I wanted to meet you. I've never met you. But here, so why don't you do the scene?" So I did the scene, and they're like, "Wow, that was really great. I'd like you to come back to meet John Waters on Monday." And so I went back to meet John Waters on Monday, and on Thursday I went back and screen tested with him, and they fired a guy and hired me instead. And that Friday, I got the job on Friday, and I walked into my waiting job because I was a waiter at the time in New York City, and I said, "I'm done." And I'll never forget my manager at the time. Are you guys there?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I was worried because
I'm just enthralled in the story.
the last time
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
talking, nobody was there. But my manager at the time was like, so I said I quit. I'm not working on Friday night, and he said, listen, dude. A lot of times actors go off to act, and then they come back and they need a job. So if I was you, I would not bail out on Friday night. And I was like, yeah, I'm bailing out on Friday night. All my friends are on their way here because I leave tomorrow to go work on this movie, and we're about to get completely housed. And that's what we did. We sat there, we got completely hammered all night, and we had this moment where I dropped out of school and like went to go work on a movie and started working on the day that Waco, Texas blew up.
Oh wow.
Yeah, if you guys don't remember, there was this moment the FBI attacked David Koresh and Waco, Texas, the Branch Davidians, and so that was my first day of work, and so I have this incredible sort of historical moment that correlates with me and my first day of work. So I always, like every 2 or 3 years, it'll come up in the news. I'm like, oh, it's another anniversary of the day I worked. But the funny thing is about that last night at the bar, my dad came, and my dad has dementia now, and my dad remembers nothing, and it's a really horrible disease. And if anyone out there has got someone in their family suffering from it, it's brutal. But I have these incredible pictures of me the night I get the job of my life that changes my life forever. My dad happened to be in New York City because he lived in California, and he came to the bar that night and celebrated with us. So it was super fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was super cool. Yeah, and so I went off and I did the movie, and Kathleen Turner was like a legend by that point.
Yeah, what was it like working with her? Like, how like her process and stuff? Like, as a new actor coming in, doing scenes with like such a heavyweight.
Well,
Were you like super intimidated or what?
Yeah, I was terrified, dude. I was terrified. You always feel, look, anyone out there, any artist out there, if if anyone's in the audience or finds this at some point, look, the imposter syndrome's a real thing. This idea that I have completely BS'd my way into this opportunity. Just sort of, it strikes me now. I'm 52 years old. I still go through it. And so when you're on your first day of work and you're like, how did I get here? And you're going against, Kathleen Turner was an absolute legend in her time. And you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna screw it up, I'm gonna screw it up, and I'll ruin everything. So,
Well, yeah, not to mention didn't you say the guy that was originally cast in your role got fired, and so you're probably like, oh my God, am I next?
yeah. So that was this is hilarious, by the way. Kathleen Turner. So the idea of the movie, because we've been talking the whole movie, is that this really sort of normal mom is this serial killer, which is hilarious. And then back up. I mean, it's like way before its time.
Yeah, like when you got the script, like walk us through that. Like, what was that like? What did your conversations with John Waters like? What was he like talking about? Like the tone of the film, like some.
Well,
like,
yeah,
what-
he was funny. So the first day of work,
What was your first scene, by the way?
the what?
What was your first scene?
I'll show you. It's coming
Okay.
up. I'll show you. I'll never forget it because I'll show when I show it to you. You'll understand. This is you, Bill Wordy. This is you in like
Yeah, high school. Me and my friends.
yeah, exactly. You and watching horror movies in the video store.
100%.
That guy on the right was like super famous at the time and had worked a bunch, and I had never worked. And I was like intimidated by him. He was like super handsome, and I was like,
what it is about today, but I feel great.
Sorry. So we do this, right? I start watching the movie, I get carried away by the movie.
Do you want me to start bringing some people up? We had like a bunch of hands.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Up.
Yeah, please.
Yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
But what were your conversations with John Water, really quick? I mean.
Oh yeah. So
yeah.
his first direction to me, and this is God's honest truth, was the first day working by myself. He's like, Lillard, do it again. Don't do it so faggy. And I was like, I wasn't. That was not the intention. It was very funny, and he's very homosexual director, so it was.
Yeah.
That's
got to be amazing coming from John Waters.
Yeah, exactly. It was not derogatory. I think he was being funny. All right, bring someone up.
Let's bring some people up. Yeah.
All right, let me see. First in line was OG. Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
To speak.
He's our spirit animal.
Yeah, I sent you an invite. There you are.
Yo, what's up, guys?
What is
Hey.
up,
Hey.
What's going on?
King
Hey,
of
Taylor.
Sea?
So it makes my voice sound real high pitched, like a.
We get a helium
Lollipop
balloon before
tail.
you pop down.
So I just would give you the heads up. I'm just glad that this all came together, guys. This is great. This is awesome. Great movie
Yeah, dude.
too.
Thank you
Such
for
a
being the
classic.
connective tissue with all this. This was amazing.
Oh, of course. I love getting all this inside, information about the making of this movie that we all loved so much watching, back in the 90s. This was one of my favorites as a kid. So when we picked this one, I was like, yes, let's do it.
Dude, it's hard to explain to the people in the audience how important you've been to the Midnight Movie Club. So again, let me publicly just say you've been a beast, and we would not be anywhere near where we are without you.
Oh man, no doubt. I mean, we have such a great idea here. That the idea behind it all is really what attracted me to it. And then when you put Matt and Bill as the people in charge of this, I mean, you couldn't ask for two better, more kind-hearted, pure intentioned souls to be doing this. And those things together, I said, whatever I can do to add to this, I'm gonna make that my mission. You know what I mean? So I do a lot of lurking behind the scenes, but definitely glad to be a part of this. And I look forward to the next couple of months are going to be a wild ride. So it's going to be really exciting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks
Well,
for reaching out to me with all this. I'm happy that we're here now because you texted me.
I
Yeah,
did.
I
I
did.
reached out to you because I had a gut feeling. I always follow my instincts, and I was like, you know what? Let's go to the CryptoDads. I know that they're a really cool community. I'm really big in SVS. and we have a lot of CryptoDads there as well. And I've always had a lot of respect for your guys' project. And we had a CryptoDad in chat, and I was like, man, I need to go reach out to them guys. They're super cool, and I love their NFT. So let's go see if they want to do something.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, dude, you've been a beast. By the way, that was my kid running in screaming, "Dad, dad, dad." So I am in the right place. I am definitely in the right place.
I just put mine to sleep. Yeah.
There you go. Well, dude, I don't know how we got you. So dude, you're a beast, and we appreciate you. We love you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I love you guys back, man. I'm gonna let everybody else talk. I just want to let everyone know there's so much big stuff happening right now that we can't even tell anybody. So please keep tuning in, keep popping in the Discord and checking. It's going to be crazy for sure.
Yeah, just come hang out, chat movies. We're always in there hanging. It's a good time.
Oh, we're going to be there, all right?
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming
Thanks
up.
for coming, yeah.
Hey, Anthony,
No doubt.
we're
And we look
missing
forward to doing
yeah.
future things with CryptoDads as well.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We challenge you. We officially challenge you to a dodgeball game. Name the city, and we will send people.
Okay. I'm down.
We will crush you. We will crush you. We have zero. We have a third of the people in our Discord that you do, but we still will crush you.
But they all dodgeball players.
If you can
We got
dodge a
some
wrench,
ringers. We got
dodge a
some
ball.
ringers.
We should do it like in the middle of Nebraska outside.
Oh, that's exactly what the U.S. men's national team just did in Minnesota.
Where was that big war of the Joshes at? That was a pretty epic field. Did you guys see that?
What was it?
It was like a war of the Joshes. A bunch of people named Josh all met up in some random city and then just had like a crazy like LARPing. I don't know.
Hilarious.
It was a Reddit thing. It happened during the pandemic. I think
I
you gotta
saw
check it out.
That's hilarious.
That's
Too
pretty funny.
Well, thanks again, OG,
All
for
right.
coming up. Let's
Hey,
bring up.
in real life dodgeball meetup. It's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm down. I am down.
All right, guys. I'm gonna step down.
Yeah,
All right,
much
see you,
love,
man.
OG. Thank you. So
Thank
I
you.
just
All right, guys.
we shot in Baltimore, and I went out to my beer's coming up to bite me. We went out to I went out to lunch one day with Ricky Lake. That's Ricky Lake, plays my sister. And in this lunch, she said to me, she goes, "Hey, just so you know, a lot of people they do one movie and they never do another movie, and that's okay." I was like, "What?" It was like before we ever started shooting, she was like, "Hey, it's okay if you never work again." So I just wanted to say thank
Brutal.
you, Ricky Lake. Thank you so much for inspiring me to 30 years later. Should we ask somebody else for a question? Or
Yes.
somebody else?
Yeah, bring some
I
people up.
just, wanted you to finally stop talking.
Oh yeah, my bad. Sorry.
Let me grab someone next. And surprise
And
appearance.
always feel free to interrupt. We do not stop talking.
We will
unless
just
we're
stop.
interrupted.
Yeah. I feel like it's my job to talk, even though probably nobody wants to hear me talk.
There you are. Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, what's happening?
I'm everywhere. I follow you everywhere, Matthew.
I see you everywhere.
Love it.
Hold on, need to change my audio output. Going through my phone speaker. All right, hello. I just wanted to make like a general statement about how welcoming this community is. Like, I joined yesterday or the day before, and everyone was like so nice, and I love how there's like more communities like this. And I think it's just like so cool. So I just wanted to say like I love what you guys are doing here, as well as in MMC. Like, it's just like awesome.
Thank
But
you
yeah.
so much. And every time we do something in Discord, I so hate that I can't send emojis while you talk, like some hearts and smiles, like on
okay.
Twitter.
I feel the love. It's alright. I feel the love.
Well, we're happy you joined us. Definitely. I actually have noticed your name yesterday. I was like, oh,
Yeah, I was in the chat for a bit, making my rounds, getting all friendly with everyone. It was really fun.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm like everywhere. You can't really get rid of me now.
Perfectly fine.
banned.
No.
Bam, we'll show you.
I'm overbearing, but in the best way. But yeah, no, I just wanted to say like hi, and yeah, love what you guys are doing. And Bill and Matthew are like my freaking cool older uncles. I was gonna say older brothers, but no, you're more like my cool uncles.
There you go.
I'll take it.
Yeah, Yeah.
Uncles are always cooler than brothers. That's for damn sure.
Exactly.
There's no
yeah,
doubt.
Well, it wouldn't make sense. I'm an only child, so just you're my cool uncles.
We accept.
Yes.
We accept the
Okay.
challenge.
But yeah,
But
that's
without-
all I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Also, love this film, by the way. I think it's really cool. Like a secret like serial killer mum. Like that's kind of cool. I'd want that.
It's good, and we're not watching it. I'm sure it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
The whole movie is pretty funny. I don't know if it holds up, right? I mean, comedies come so far, and like sort of
Right.
tone and what people like has come so far. So I was curious to see if it holds up, but I can't really tell. Huh?
It's like a nostalgia, like it's a classic, like a nostalgic kind of comedy. So it's like,
Yeah, and his style is so unique. Like the way he does this like 50s wholesomeness, but then underneath there, it's almost like a comedic version of like Blue Velvet. It's got this like these weird undertones, but it's like suburbia, and I don't know. Yeah, it's just very interesting.
Yeah, no, it's definitely cool. Different.
Yeah.
But different. Yeah. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I just want to say hi, everyone. Just
Eva, we always appreciate you and everything you do for us.
Thank you for coming up.
No problem.
Thank you for supporting both of our communities. We appreciate it all together.
No, Matthew and Bill know how much I love them, so I don't need to say it. But no, I'm going to spend some time in here, get to know people. So thank you for doing this. Otherwise, I would never have found CryptoDads, So both of the communities,
Perfect.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time and coming up and speaking. I'm sure we'll see you in the cave.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
thank you.
Hey, why did you guys start CryptoDads? What's the story there?
Oh man, so I've been into NFTs and just in the crypto space for quite a while, and I created a Twitter because everybody was like, hey, like this is where everyone posts NFT and crypto stuff. So made a Twitter and then started following a bunch of accounts, and I noticed a trend of like a bunch of people aping into shitcoins, and half of them or 90% of them had father or dad in their bios. And I thought that was hilarious because I just imagined like a bunch of dads throughout the world just literally aping into coins, like hoping to make $1 million overnight. And,
Guilty.
Yeah. Same, man. I'm not a dad, but pretty much same thing. I'll be there probably in a few years, but yeah, I just thought it was hilarious, and I wanted to kind of create an NFT project that kind of, I guess, was based off of that concept. So yeah, just it was meant to be funny, and then it turned into much more.
That's great.
And when did you guys meet? When did you guys come to market?
You guys that was like a September, right? Because I remember I was following you guys when I was in SVS, like right when I started my NFT journey. I was like, oh man, I wish I could afford both these projects. And yeah, you were one of the first ones I found.
Yeah, it was September 7th.
Nice.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Nice. And then did it blow up overnight? Like how? Because you guys have a thriving community. I went in the first time I went in. It was crazy. It was like it wouldn't stop. The chat was flying. It was out of control.
Yeah, man. We were. I know our team was super overwhelmed because we didn't know how it was gonna go. We just remember making the Discord one day, and we were like, "Damn, maybe it's too early to start the Discord because the launch isn't for another 4 weeks." But we decided to anyways, and within 48 hours, I think we had like 5,000 people in the Discord, and then it just snowballed effect. And yeah, it took about maybe 5 days to have, I think, like 60,000 people in the Discord.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's just people on Twitter started sharing it, man. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, we've had a really interesting relationship with Twitter. So I put out early on, I did a good morning tweet like 4 weeks ago. And I was like, oh, here we go. LFG, it's on. And dude, the amount of blowback that we got was like, it was intense. It was intense.
You just got roasted, and not in like the fun Comedy Central way.
Yeah, just like blasted. Like NFTs are ruining the world. You're the worst, Lillard. You're the worst actor. And at some point, at some point, my manager called me. I was like, "Hey, I don't know what you're doing, but you may want to reconsider."
Yeah.
So we've been growing it. Songs,
and I'm just so thankful to have a partner like you that understands like the future of NFTs and smart contracts. Because any other actor, if I was partnered with, would be like, nope, I'm pulling the ripcord. I'm out of here. Good luck, Bill. You're on your own. But you're like, no, man, this is the future. Like, forget those people on Twitter. We're pushing forward. Yeah, we might not be as vocal in that space, but let's let's keep this thing going because the idea is good. The space is the future. Web3 is like where everything's going. And yeah, I just got to commend you on that. That was a really bold move on your part.
Yeah, I mean, I believe in it, right? I get it. I see it. And I think what we're doing is cool. And I think it hasn't been done before. And that's why I'm super stoked to keep doing it. Anyways, but it's been hard to do it without Twitter because so much of the traction for NFTs lives in Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the sentiment will change like eventually, you know.
Yeah, I think
So-
the Super Bowl is going to be a big weekend because there's all the
Yeah.
ads coming out. I think that's going to be like kind of a pivot point.
Yeah. I mean,
And
look
like
at
Coinbase coming out.
exactly, and like look at the early 2000s. Like people attacked every tech company that was coming out because they
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
understand it. Now everybody uses it, so it's the same thing here. I'd say you're probably making the right move.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Anyway, I've got
Yeah.
a next person. How about that?
Yeah, let's bring them up.
I have a huge fan who is sitting here and deciding if she wants to raise a hand. So I'm just going to get her up here and have her talk.
Teresa, come on up.
Or
be
she's
shy.
coming. Erica, I sent you an invite.
Oh, yeah.
This is
Hi,
my
Erica.
See,
I sent her an invite. Oh, we've been
Erica's
texting
like,
Anthony.
Why are
She's
you
ready.
doing this to me?
she's upstairs right now, probably freaking out.
Yeah, she's
Yeah, I
been
see her
texting
in the
me.
chat. I
She
see
said
the
she has
audience.
too many questions for the length of the movie. But you know what? That's a one-time opportunity. Let's do this. Come on, Erica.
We'll do a
I know you're
rapid fire
brave.
session.
It's not actually. You have my DMs. You can DM me anytime.
Hello.
There you are.
Hi.
Yay!
Yeah,
Welcome.
I couldn't figure out how to accept the invite, so I was just sitting here staring at the.
All
staring at the
good. You
screen.
got it. You're here. Don't worry.
I've been
Matt had issues too, so we're all good.
Listen, I got kicked out, so it's fine.
Well, hello. How's it
Hi, how are
going?
you? I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm good. You know, I sort of like always dread these moments coming in and like being on stage the whole time and talking. But then when I get
Right.
there, I talk a lot and have a good time. So right now I'm enjoying myself.
Good. Well, that's great to hear. Okay. I was thinking of I had many questions, but I'm going to just go with the first one that I was thinking about because
Sure.
I wanted to tell you I am very, very excited for Straight Outta Nowhere, which is it already which might already be out, or
Straight out of nowhere.
the Scooby Doo and
Oh.
Courage the Cowardly Dog crossover.
Okay, yes. Okay, good. I was like, oh my God, somebody's using my name. I didn't do anything. No, yeah, so Cowardly Dog. I think it did come out. So I have a very weird relationship with. So people may not know, I played Shaggy and Scooby Doo. But I go into like today. I was saying to Bill, he's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "I'm on my way to go do this Scooby Doo thing for the Super Bowl." I don't know. It's like, but that's kind of how it goes. So when I go to do a session as Shaggy, I don't know what I'm doing and I never see it. So I'm never like I never watch the movie because my kids are all beyond the age of watching the Scooby Doos. So
Scooby Doo. Oh, okay.
But
Well,
I hear
I'm
the
really
Cowardly
excited for it.
that one is like super crazy. Apparently, it's like the craziest movie they've ever done.
I mean, I watched the trailer and it looked poppin'. There was a lot going on, but it looked amazing. Like it looks great. I'm excited for it. I think for
good.
everybody who like that was their childhood is probably like, yes, this is what I've been waiting for. But I just wanted to tell you that I was excited for that. But my question
Yeah.
is, so I'm super into horror movies. That's like my favorite genre. I actually
Nice.
have a horror movie podcast.
Oh really? Oh,
yeah.
that's right. That's cool.
But-
How's it going?
You know, it's actually going much better than I expected. I started it with another friend who is obsessed with horror movies, and we started it during the pandemic when we both just had a lot of time and we're kind of like itching for a creative outlet. And we've gotten like a great community. It's a thing that we both look forward to every single
that's
week,
amazing.
and it helps us watch a bunch of horror movies and feel productive about it as well. So yeah, I mean, we're both still loving it. We've been doing it for like a year and a half now.
That's amazing. That's
Nice.
amazing. Look, I think that half the time people are scared to go into something because they're afraid it's not going to lead to something like big or some kind of monumental moment. And to me, just what you said, which is I look forward to it. It gives me joy. Like those are the things that you just, I don't know. I'm always a big fan of jumping in and doing something creative that you're inspired to do, and
Yeah.
it will go where it's supposed to go.
Yeah, I mean, it feels fun. I think, you can't really go wrong with that because if it wasn't fun and it felt like work and stuff, then you can always stop it pretty easily. But luckily for us, we wanted to do something we're both passionate about, so that made it really easy.
Oh, yeah.
But through doing that, homies of horror, by the way, if anybody else is into horror movies.
There you go, homie.
But,
Yeah, nice. That's the way you show. There you go. Drop it. Drop it.
But through doing that, one thing that we've discovered in doing like some background research on horror movies is it seems like a lot of times the cast and the crew all just have this amazing experience working on the set. It sounds like it's a lot of fun, despite how maybe like grim or gory the movie is. It always seems like they have a ton of fun behind the scenes. I guess I was just kind of wondering if that was your experience with the horror movies that you've been involved with.
Yeah. Well, look, here's my answer to that. I think that it doesn't matter the kind of movie you're working on. The person you are going into a movie experience is going to dictate your kind of experience, right? So, like I'm a person in general that's full of joy. I love my job. I've been doing my job since I was a 13-year-old lost kid with learning disability who's obese, whose mom and dad basically worked 24/7 and raised himself as a latchkey kid, and like was miserable kid in junior high school, and then found acting, right? And so every time I get to act, I'm reminded about the fact that I am doing something I've wanted to do my whole life and I've been doing my whole life. So I'm the kind of person that steps on set that brings that kind of energy and excitement. So whether it's a horror movie, whether it's The Descendants, I'm gonna have a good time. And I think that if you have people in the middle of the movie who are high up on the call sheet and that lead with that kind of joy, then joy will follow. And I do think there's something about doing horror movies is that you're not trying to win an Academy Award. You're not trying to impress people with how intelligent you are. You're trying to give people, you're trying to make an exciting experience. The thing about a horror movie is that when you sit in that movie theater, you have a visceral reaction, right? There's a chemical reaction when you get scared. And I think that that's what people crave. And so, I don't know, when you're making that kind of movie, the stakes are in a way lower. But I will tell you, just personally, like doing Scream was one of the single greatest experiences of my life because of the age I was, because of where I was as a young man, the friends I made on that movie. Had nothing to do with the success of the movie in the end. It had everything to do with the group that was gathered. But it only takes one toxic person to throw everything off.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
honestly, and that's what anything creative can be destroyed by one person. That's why you have to pick your tribe well. And just so you know, I don't know if we mentioned it, the Midnite Movie Club is all about doing horror movies, genre movies, thrillers, space, sci-fi films. So those are the kind of movies we make because those are the kind of movies we love.
Yeah, which is awesome. Yeah, when I heard you listening, or I heard you talking about that, and I thought that was awesome.
Oh, good.
It's great to hear. I'm definitely interested.
Wait, I have a question. Can you hear me, by the way? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think the mic is cutting out.
Is it my mic?
No,
Or
no,
was it
hers.
mine?
No, I think
Okay,
it's
good.
Erica.
I was like, oh my God, I'm about to get kicked out again.
You're good, man.
Erica, what movie surprised you on your journey, on your horror movie? Like, what's the movie that you found in this journey? Like, oh my God, that movie was great. Because that's the movie we all want to watch.
Oh man. Oh gosh. Well, as far as it's just an amazing movie across the board, or
No, just what movie you were like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, which one that you found I don't know, was awesome.
Oh gosh, I'm like trying to remember all the movies. Well, just in general, I think a movie that I would always recommend to people is Cube. If you've seen that.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
don't- Yes, yeah. I mean, it's just one of those movies that scratches like everything that I like about horror movies. And I think from a writing and character directorial standpoint for someone making use of what they have and making a really compelling story from that, you can't really go wrong with Cube. Plus, it's not super long. So if you're one of those people who's like, I like a quick 90 minutes, like, look no further.
Yeah, right on. Oh, good.
So, yeah.
Okay. That's now on my list. Thank you.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for
Yeah.
talking to me.
Yeah, thank you for
and-
jumping up.
Yeah, of course. And I will keep hanging out. Please, I don't know how to leave. Do you?
Oh,
make
don't
me
worry,
leave?
I'll kick you out.
Okay,
Damn.
great. That's all I needed to know.
Matt knows how to
Kicked
leave.
out
No
of better
problem.
places than this.
We're still
Same
friends when
humor.
I'm in Denver, okay? All right, thank you for coming up. I'm gonna bring Rick G. He's been
By the way,
hanging
she
out
had
here
no
forever.
choice. You pulled her up here.
I knew she
Yeah.
really wanted to talk to you, and she was hesitating. So I was like,
Quickly
"No,
as she was
it's
pulled
gonna
up, she
happen
got pushed
now."
back down.
All right, Rick, I have invited you. You're gonna get an invitation on the top of your Discord. You have to accept. Oh, he didn't need none of
There
that.
he is.
Sorry,
No hesitation.
right? Rick, unmute yourself.
As we're watching, as Rick is coming on, I see my dimple in my left cheek, and that dimple's now a crease that runs the entire length of my face. All right. Hey, what's up, Rick? Yeah, how's it
How you
going?
doing?
Hey,
Question: growing up in film, and I mean not loving film, and I had a small stint in film school and stuff. What was it like? One of your first movies, working with the legendary but weird John Waters.
Oh, it was great. He was really, he was lovely. I saw him. I probably saw him like 3 years ago. He does a lot of public speaking now. He goes out and like reads excerpts from his book, and he's got like a one-man show. He's hilarious, and I think he takes like great pride in finding me, which is sweet because in this moment, right? In this moment, you feel so overwhelmed, and that every day you're like, I just don't want to make mistakes. And I look back now, and I'm like, I was this kid, right? I was super innocent, and I was this kid just trying to do my best. And he sort of took care of me, except for the funny thing is, so when I auditioned, you're not allowed to you're not allowed to ask an actor his or her age. It's like against the rules. It's against the law. And at the time I got the job, I was 23 years old. But when I came into audition, I told him I was 18.
Huh.
And on the first day of work, he found out how old I was and came out into my trailer and banged on my trailer. He's like, "You lied to me. You're lucky I don't fire you." I was like, "Oh my God." I was so terrified from like that point on that he hated my guts. But he was great. He was very, very sweet.
He
And I
seems
love
like he'd be
this.
cool because he used the same people, like the same young people in a lot of his
Yeah.
movies. And then Johnny Depp was in one of his
Of
early
course,
movies.
yeah. And
Ricky Lake was in a
bunch.
few of his
Yeah.
movies, yeah.
Yeah.
And Tracy Lords was in a couple of his movies, and she was just coming out
Tracy's
of the
great.
porn industry, and
Yeah.
she was trying to break into film, and that was really cool. He gave her that chance,
Yeah, it was very sweet that way. I'll never forget, by the way, as I'm watching the movie, I go back to look at the movie. So these sequences are being shot in this neighborhood, and I'd never seen a film sequence. I'd never been on a film set. So I sat and watched all these stunts that they were doing the entire time. And they're like, what are you doing with like all these crowds? I'm like, I've never seen a movie shot. I want to watch. That's funny.
You never mentioned which was your first scene. Did we pass it?
I don't think so. It's when I'm running down the hill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Keep an eye out.
But yeah, he was great. I mean, here's the thing about the film industry, and I think, in my experience, I'm going to distract. Don't watch the screen. Don't watch the screen.
This is how people
Oh
had to do
my
it.
gosh!
This is how people had to do it before the internet. VHS tapes.
This is how things happened. But I was gonna say something. I got completely distracted by Chesty Morgan. I was gonna say, oh God, it's so gross. Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna
just
say.
make something up.
Yeah. So okay. So here's the funny thing. So Kathleen Turner, when Bill, you asked early on, was like working with her. She had this thing where she would hold court. Right, we would go to like Joe's Crab Shack. I'll never forget. She took everyone out to dinner, like when we all got down there. She took everyone to dinner, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this dinner's cost several $100s." But she took everyone to dinner, and I was like, she sat in the middle of this restaurant and sort of took pictures with the entire place and held court. And we shot at Towson State. And as we were shooting in Towson State, like she would walk across campus with, with security around her, with no hat, and sort of like would make a scene everywhere she went. I thought it was so interesting. And Sam Waterston said to me, he's like, the thing about Kathleen Turner is she knows the power of her fame. She knows that if she engages with people, it leaves an impact on people forever.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
It's one of the things that I was like, oh, that's so egotistical, so arrogant, that's a weird thing. And the older I've gotten, the more I realize the impact that my career's had on, certainly on kids, on LGBTQ kids, on on kids that have struggled with drugs and suicide attempts and sort of people in crisis. I did a movie called SLC Punk and Scream, and there's just a bunch of movies in my life that have affected people in a really profound and deep way. And I've realized as my life has gone on that the power of being a quote unquote celebrity is really a blessing for people that understand its impact on people that need it most. So that's sort of one of the lessons I learned from her, that I'll sit in a convention, I sign autographs all the time, and I hug everyone that comes to my table, whether I don't care where you are, I don't care what political party you're with. I'll hug the shit out of you.
I hug her too.
You want to hug? Yeah, and and the idea of like hugging a kid that's that you've had an impact on is a profound experience for me and for them. So it's really cool.
That's awesome. Thank you. I got to get my old horror movie, because I'm old. I'm your age. My horror movie that kind of
what is it?
Horror movies. One of my favorite. It's really weird and like late 70s, early 80s. A movie called Gargoyles.
Gargoyles.
It was so amazing. You got to look it up. It was amazing. Called Gargoyles. Scared the crap out of me. Then, of course, the original Rosemary's Baby was one.
Terrifying.
Yes, and the Damien movies. The last
Omen.
where they're on the bus,
terrifying.
where they're on the bus and they're looking out the window of the back window of the bus that drives off, scared the crap out of me.
Oh yeah, that last sequence is so terrifying. Yes. Exorcist too. The Exorcist was really.
Exorcist still scares me to this day. That's the only horror movie that scares me.
Yeah,
100%.
Terrifies me. No other horror movie, I laugh at them, but The Exorcist scares the crap out of me.
I actually seen the Gargoyle, and I love it. I watched all those series too, and I was like 6, and I remember watching it with my dad and my mom flying into the room, start screaming at him that I shouldn't be watching it, but I really liked it.
This is like an old, I think it's late 70s, and like this dad and son gets they get stranded in the desert, and this gargoyle, they befriend this gargoyle, this legend, and they go in this cave, and it's really weird. And this gargoyle's showing them all these pods of these other gargoyles being born. And I don't know why that movie just cemented in my head. And I think it was one of the drive-in movies, but it was amazing. I love
drive-ins were the best. Drive-ins were the best.
Yes. But thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for jumping
awesome. Awesome, Matthew. Love you guys, all you. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you for coming.
Appreciate it. I don't watch a lot of scary movies. Sorry, Rusky, go ahead.
No, you say something because I was going to pull up another person. So go ahead, talk. It's your Discord.
I don't watch a ton of scary movies, but one that really messed me up is called Frogs. I don't know why, but
yes. Isn't what's his name's in that? Sam Elliott, right? I think I have the DVD of that somewhere. Yeah.
My dad made me watch that when I was really young, and I've just been super messed up since.
That's amazing.
My dad took me to Aliens and scared the crap out of me. Remember how incredible Aliens was? Aliens was one of those movies that I walked out of going, That was like one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's an incredible one. I remember when we were young, trying to figure. We were like, "Oh, we're going to the video store." My friend's dad, he's the one that told us to rent The Omen, and we're in like probably 7th grade, maybe, and we had no idea what we were in for. We were just blown away. But it was just funny that, like, yeah, that's how dads were back then. Just like, yeah, go rent The Omen, kids. Like, yeah, it's no problem. If it's our call me. I'll approve it.
So Sam Waterston, who plays my dad in this movie, he and I play a lot of chess. I love chess.
Same.
And so I brought chess to the set every day, and we play chess. I'm happy to report I beat him, I think, every game. And we'd play every day because you have a lot of time, especially back in the old days when you had to change film and you only had one camera. Like it was a big difference in how you made movies. And we would play chess every day. And I'll never forget on the last day, I'm like, hey, I'll see you next week. He's like, oh, I won't see you next week. I'm like, yeah, you live in New York. I live in New York. We'll play chess. He's like, yeah, buddy. That's not really how it works. I've got kids. He's like, I'm probably not going to see you again. I'm like, what are you talking about? Of course we're going to see each other again. We're like, I love you. Like, we're buddies. Like, you're my dad in this movie. I'm dropping shit in my own room. And he was like, yeah, that's not really how it works. I'm like, I'll show you. I'm going to see you. We're going to play chess. Cut to. It is now 30 years later. I've never seen him since.
Is this a challenge? Are you challenging him to a chess right after dodgeball? This is like after dodgeball.
The dodgeball / chess tournament is on.
Love it.
Yeah. Anyways, it is one of the things about making movies is that you have. Kathleen said at some point, she said, doing a movie is like having a family with a built-in divorce. Because you're together all day, every day, and you become super tight, and you're sitting in this car, and you're engaged. You're going to dinner together, and 3 months later, you just go your separate ways, and you never see each other. And it's one of the things that is really difficult about this business, actually.
That's interesting.
Sounds
I've never
sad.
thought about that.
Yeah, it's really crazy. And the thing is that, when you have, and the other thing is, look, it's really hard because there are times like people have these assumptions about actors is that you're rich. This movie I made, you make scale plus 10, which is like $3,000 a week. And then, which is a great pay, but then you don't work for 7 months, 8 months, 9 months.
And that's before taxes too.
And that's before taxes, your agent, your manager, and lawyer. So this idea that all of us are rich is just a it's not correct. It's just a misnomer. It's not true. And yes, there's definitely, look, if you're doing a TV show, if you're Nev Campbell in Scream, you have been given opportunity to make real wealth. But for most of the population who carry SAG-AFTRA cards and consider themselves professional actors, you are living below the poverty line. Only 96% of actors make above the poverty line every year. So it's just one of those things that I like to talk about because I've been very blessed. I've had incredibly bountiful runs. Scooby Doo 2 is huge for me. I just got done doing Good Girls for years. So all those moments you make money and it allows me to, afford to feed my kids. But there are so many times in your life where, look, I haven't worked since March. I did an episode of Billions. I've done a couple episodes of Scooby Doo, but it's feast or famine, and it's really a brutal career if it goes south. So
yeah, and that's why I'm excited for the night school stuff, where we're going to show people how budgets work. Like our first movie, we want to be able to show the budget when we're done, so people can see like really how all the money breaks down and where it's all going. And you'll realize a lot of it isn't going to, for small indie horror movies, it's not going to the cast and the director, writer, all that. It's really going to like equipment, location, insurance, like all the boring stuff that people don't think about, but those are the things that are the most expensive.
yeah. Anyways, sorry, I talked a long time.
Yeah.
That's okay.
All good. Yeah, bring some
Ready
up.
for the next one?
Yeah.
We got Sorry I Drunk Your Last Monster. No, I didn't read it right. Sorry I Drunk Last Monster. I can't read. I'm inviting you to speak.
No, that was good. That's 100% right.
You did good, Russ. Bruce.
I'm trying. Russ.
I call her
Come on
Rusty. Hey, how's it going?
There you go. That's the right way. Hi.
Oh,
Oh, wow. That was fast.
And they're out.
Did she mean to do that?
Ruski, how do you spell your, how do you say your
Now
name?
we're calling that a Lillard. That was a Lillard. She pulled,
That's a Lillard, right?
Yeah, pulled the
How do you
Lillard on
say-
us.
and then just ghost.
How do you say your name? Ruski.
It's Rusky.
Okay, good. Okay.
It's a hard explanation. If I said it in Russian, it would be Ruski. But I
Oh.
wrote it in
Rusky.
English. Usually, if you write something in English, I'm sorry, in Russian, but using English letters, that's how I always wrote U as a U. That's why I
Uh-huh.
wrote it like that, because I needed a quick name a long time ago and it stuck to me. So
Yeah,
that's
I
the
would
story.
have pronounced it as Ruski.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
Ruski
Either
was-
way,
yeah,
it's
I like it.
totally
Yeah,
fine for me.
Rusky.
Whatever. You have no idea what I call you when you don't hear it.
It's Russian, so I hear all kinds of stuff.
There, she's back.
Bring her
Or
back
he,
up.
or she. I'm
Hey,
not
hey.
sure.
Hello.
Oh,
Hey.
hey.
Hello.
So I think you did that by accident because I wasn't sure.
No worries. I thought Russ kicked you.
Yeah.
No.
So my question is, what is your most embarrassing moment, like on any of the sets that you've done?
Oh.
The most embarrassing moment in my film career or my life?
Either or, but I was thinking film career.
Okay, good. Yeah. Oh gosh, embarrassing moment.
Do you have any scenes where you did anything like embarrassing around the set? Or
I
like,
do.
the
I
crew?
do have a moment. I don't know if it's really. Let me just scan the moment and see if it's appropriate. Yeah, I have a moment. It's So I did a movie called. Okay, I did a movie called. Oh God, it's with Josh Hartnett. What is it? Josh Hartnett and
You Google.
oh God, it's Wicker Park, and it's me and Josh and Diana Kruger and oh, what's her name? Oh, it's gonna drive me crazy. I have to. Somebody has to tell me what her name is. Are you googling?
Yeah. Dana Kruger, Rose Byrne.
Rose Byrne. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a movie. There's a moment in Wicker Park which is hilarious. So I play. And that's a good little movie actually. The director of the movie is a fantastic director.
I remember when you guys were filming that in Chicago because I was in film school at the time.
Yeah, it was very it was good. They did second unit in Chicago.
Yeah, they just did pickup shots. That's what I was
Yeah.
bummed to find out. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go work on this movie, and they're like, oh, they're just
Yeah.
literally getting shots of the L.
But we have the scene in the movie where there was at the end of the scene, right? I sort of like go to Rose Byrne and I'm like, I confess my love to her in the middle of the third act or the middle of the second act, and she's like, fine, and we end up sleeping together. So it cuts to the next morning, I'm getting out of bed. And I just had like my second kid, and I was a big fan. I'm from the Midwest, so if you just gave me the opportunity, I'd put on 100 pounds in like 2 seconds. I really like to eat. I eat poorly. I rarely exercise. Like at some point, my goal is just get really, really fat. But I'm trying to continually feed my kids, so I'm trying to get jobs, and so I try not to get that fat. But during the movie, at the end of the scene, when I wake up the next day, during the middle of the morning, we're having breakfast, right? And we're shooting the scene, and Paul McGuigan, who's the director, comes up to me and goes, hey, and he's Scottish, and he has this great brogue. He's like, hey, man, I've got a great idea. And he pulls Rose and I aside. He's like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this shot, and I'm going to put you in front of this backdrop, and I'm going to shoot it in silhouette, and you're going to take each other's clothes off. Are you guys there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So he says, you're gonna take each other's clothes off and you're gonna make out, and then I'm gonna cut to the next morning. And I'm like, oh, and I am like sitting on baby weight, right? So I put on a bunch of weight with my kids, and I'm like, there's no way on God's green earth that I am about to get naked in front of Rose Byrne. I'm not gonna do that. There's no way. And Rose is like, there's no way I'm getting naked. Are you kidding me? There's no way. So he comes to us after like the first setup of the day. He's like, "Oh, so have you been thinking what I've got to? Have you been thinking about this shot? Are you gonna do it?" And I'm like, no, we're not gonna. It's not cool. Like, I don't feel comfortable like getting naked. Like, dude, like, I feel like strange. You're not gonna use the shot. And Rose is like, I'm not getting naked. So I'm like, we are bounded in solidarity. At lunch, he comes to us and sits down next to us at lunch. He's like, here's the thing. I'm just gonna behave you in silhouette. It's not gonna be that big of a deal. I'm going to sheath it. It's going to be great. I'm like, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. So it comes to the end of the day. I go in my trailer at the last shot, and there's like a bathrobe sitting there, like, and like these little skivvy underwear, which are like nude. And I'm like, this is crazy. This is crazy. Like, I'm not prepared to get naked in front of people. This is insane. So I'm walking out of my trailer, and I'm like going over to Rose's trailer. I'm like, we have to end this. We can't do this. And there comes Rose Byrne with a bottle of champagne going, come on, let's just go do this shit. And I'm like, no way. So we get to set, and he's like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn on the camera, and you're going to kiss and make out, and you're going to take each other's clothes off. And I was like, in this moment, had to get naked. Not fully naked. Neither one of us were fully naked in any way, shape, or form. But you're in like skivvies. I'm 6'4" in like boxers, basically. And you're like, this is super uncomfortable. So that was humiliating. Is that the worst story I've ever told? No, it didn't make the movie. It just ended up the two of us scantily clad making out in front of like a crew of people and then it was terrible. And like there was nothing good about it. That was a stupid story. It was a humiliating moment in my life, one of many.
Definitely sounds rough.
It was like the thing, like, I don't know how many people would just be like, oh, hey, you're gonna, like, charming Scottish guy, you're gonna get half naked in front of people, and that was humiliating.
Yeah, I wish my most embarrassing moment in life was hanging out naked with Rose Byrne.
I know it doesn't translate well, but when you're like, oh gosh.
Yeah, it's in front of the crew. It's when that grip's just staring at you.
Yeah,
you got the
like, you're sitting there and you're like, it's just horrible. All right, that was my story. So I should have come up with a better.
Hitting that table.
Huh?
I said, stop hitting that table. It's in the past.
I know.
It's in the past.
It's my anxiety coming up.
Matt, you're a really good storyteller.
Oh,
every single time.
Oh, good. I feel like I just got egg on my face because that story is pretty bad. But there you go. We're coming up on. Thank you, by the way, for your question. You could have asked me the question like, when did you feel the most studliest? But that
I don't even know. I'm just so nervous right now.
Why? Why?
The story though, right? It would have been the same story.
It would have been the same. No, it would not have been the same story. No, don't feel nervous. No nervous.
I've tried to come on like any of your events so many times, but it's like I can't do it. I'm too nervous. I can't.
Why?
Oh no! Now you've broken the ice. Now come up on every event. We want to have you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, have you ever seen me like? I don't think I give any vibe as to be nervous. Here's my thing. Both Bill and I grew up in the Midwest. I think it defines who we are as people. We're about as normal as it gets. Look at her. She looks so badass. Shot. Oh, this is it. This is the scene. So this is the first scene I shot in a movie. It's coming up. So it's kind of crazy because I go running down the street. Oh no! I cannot believe I'm reacting to a movie.
One more question, if that's okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite scene you shot in SLC Punk?
Well, in hindsight, the scene where Bob dies, because it's one of the most proud moments I've ever had as an actor. Because in that moment of shooting that scene, I didn't think I could do it, and it came out really, really well, and it was a powerful moment for me and super defining for me as an artist and as an actor. So yeah, so that probably that, and then the punk when we're at the gig, and I'm like doing stage dives and stuff. That was super fun. But I love that movie. That's my favorite movie I've ever.
It's one of my favorites too.
Yeah, it's a good one. That one's good. So I'm just going back to the scenes. I come running down this hill, and as I go running down the hill on take one, like, because I had just come out of acting school, right? So I was doing it like you would really run because I wanted it to look real. And so I go running down this hill, and they were like, ready and action. And I go sprinting, and Birdie, who's behind me, isn't even in the same shot, although I think we missed it. Isn't even in the same shot because I'm like 6'4" running full speed, and they're like, cut! And John Waters is like, hey, dude, what are you doing? He didn't say, hey, dude. He's like, you gotta stay in the same shot. Like, you can't go running full speed. It doesn't make sense. It has to be in this little box. I'm like, okay. So the second shot I did, I'm acting really hard so that I look like I'm really running, but we're staying in the same shot. And I go running across the street. And as I do, I trip and fall and go flying flat on my face. And I land and I bash my face against the concrete. And there were stunt drivers because there were cars driving by. And they stopped. I mean, they obviously saw me fall on my face. But John Waters came up to me. He's like, "What, dude? What is your problem? I just need you to run. What are you doing? He's like, you know how lucky you are? If you had lost a tooth, you would have gotten fired. Like, get your shit together. Calm down. I know it's your first day, but get it together, kid." Because I was like spazzing out. I couldn't run. And he was like, dude, if you lost your teeth, you would have been out. So that's funny.
It's crazy.
But yeah, always come up. Always say hi.
Thank you
we're
for
family.
coming. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. All right. We've got Jody been hanging out since the beginning too.
Hi, Jody.
What part of the Midwest are you from?
I grew up just outside of Detroit.
Oh, right on, man. I'm from Indiana, so.
Right on. Same thing. Don't you think that? Don't you have like a? Do you think there's a thing about Midwest people that's really authentic?
100%. Yeah, I agree.
Where in Indiana did you grow up?
In a small town called Cloverdale. It's like near Greencastle, if you know where that is.
Okay.
Like
I went up to Indiana all the time. We were like in Rolling Prairie, which is right outside LaPorte. That's
Nice.
like where
Right
I
on.
grew up. Yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's where I went like for summers. I'm from Chicago, though.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think we're scared, Jody. Jody, I'm gonna try to do that again. There you go. You're here.
Hi, Jody.
Oh.
Can you hear us, Jody?
Barely. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Nice.
Hi. Nice to hear you again.
Well, first of all, before I forget, Amityville Horror was probably my scariest. I don't know how many of you were
Sure. Yeah. Good one.
that one, but because I'm up there in age also, the ripe age of 48. So another funny thing is that you were talking about Baltimore. I grew up right outside of Baltimore, so I'm a little familiar with what you were speaking of earlier for the
I can
serial.
hear that accent. Yeah, you still have that accent down by the ocean.
I live in Tennessee
Ambulance.
now, so that's the funny part. But anyway, Matthew,
Yes, ma'am.
your expressions they're just amazing, and they fill in what you can't say with words, and I think that's incredible.
Well, thank you so much.
A way to make people feel acknowledged without even having to say anything. It's in your face.
Thank
So,
you. Somebody once said I'm like Jim Carrey on crack cocaine because my face does that.
let's hope not.
That would be a lot. That would be a lot for anyone to take.
Well, that's I suffer. I had a stroke several years ago during an operation, so I suffer a little bit with my getting my words correctly.
Yes, ma'am.
It's all there in my brain.
Well, you're doing great tonight.
Well,
you're kicking ass tonight.
I appreciate it. I've met you a couple times in the chat rooms or in the different discords. You know me, it's Jody.
Oh yes, I sure do. I absolutely do. How
But
did
I
you
won't
find?
take up any more of you
Can I ask you
guys'
a
time.
question? Can I ask you a
I'm
question?
sorry.
How did you find NFTs?
Um, well, I I love art,
Uh-huh.
first of all. Any form of it. It brings magic to a very blank world sometimes. So as I'm flipping through and I'm going through, just ended up finding out, and I would hear people talk of it. And honestly, the negativity on the news made me want to research it more.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
Anytime that they spout about something, I want to find out for myself, because normally it's not everything as it is as it seems. But
Yeah. Oh,
that's
good.
how.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you for jumping up and saying hi.
Hey, no problem, you guys, and have a wonderful night. And I'm going to continue to watch the serial.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
Thanks,
you
much.
for
Jody.
coming.
Appreciate
Yeah,
you coming.
thank
Bye,
you.
Rusty.
Hey, I love that you keep coming. Keep doing that, okay? Spaces for me are tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, so you'll better be there.
I got you there.
Thank you. Bye.
We were talking about her name real quick. I think most of us just call her Queen.
Word.
Aw.
I like that.
I'm sure that's not what they call me when I don't see it.
Oh, what I call her. That's good.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye. We got one more here. Let me bring you up. There you are. Ah, look
Hi.
at that PFP over there.
Hi, I just wanted to say thank you to Matthew Lillard because I had COVID like 2 weeks ago and it was pure hell. But I binged a bunch of Matthew Lillard not videos, movies, and it was so much better.
We're here to save. We're here to save people. That's what my career is all about, is to bring you to the other side of sickness. But thank you for saying that. I'm glad. Are you better now?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, I don't know what else to say.
Well, that's all good. You all good. You don't have to say anything
Thank
else.
you for coming up. We're not gonna make it awkward for you. I'll just
Yeah.
put you down in the audience, but we appreciate you coming talking, and
Thank you.
I think you're better now.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Your PFP is hot.
All right, those were all the brave people who raised their hands. Any more people who want to talk? I know you guys want to talk.
Yeah, come on up.
Oh, Cam been commenting the whole night. Come on, Cam, come up, say something.
Wait, our Cam?
Yep, he's been a cave commentator. He's been like doing the process over.
How's
with
the
us.
cave? Has anyone checked on the cave? I'm scared to check on the cave because then I'll never get back in.
There you go, Mr. B. Just let himself
Cave's
in.
lit. Yeah, I'm in the
What's
cave.
up?
I just jumped up. Hey, what's going on, Matt?
Hey, what's up, Mr. B?
Question I would throw out: is there any role you either turned down or were super close to getting that kind of just sticks with you that you wish you got or didn't pass on?
Yeah. First of all, every role, I very rarely turn down roles. I don't know if you've seen most of my movies in my career, but most of them are horrible. But
No, I'm a good Hackers fan. I was telling you, Hackers is the one I love.
Hack the Planet. Hack the Planet. By the way, that movie was not good when it came out. It wasn't until people got Apple
No, it's one of those cult classics
Yeah.
that everyone started to love afterwards.
It's so funny how that movie.
I watched the hell out of that movie in the 90s.
I don't know. Listen, it's a bunch of teenagers rollerblading around New York City, hacking Gibsons. I mean, it's
Yeah,
the
it was
dumbest
amazing.
movie ever. It's so
What
dumb.
more could you ask for?
Well, you do have Angelina Jolie in it, which is an added plus. But yeah, there's a story. I told this I think before, but it's a pretty crazy story. and it's sort of heartbreaking. So I got an audition for The Walking Dead, and they were like, "Hey, this is a big role. We want you to come in." I'm like, "Great. What's the role?" Like, "We can't tell you." I'm like, "Well, that's ridiculous." But okay. And so it's kind of great when you're not given information, because you can't get that invested in anything because they're not giving you information. So I'm like, okay, great. Like I did a David Lynch show. I did Twin Peaks: The Return, and they, the audition was basically just talking on film. I'm like, oh, great. I can't screw that up. So if you don't tell me what I'm going in for, I can't screw it up because I don't really have an expectation. So I went in an audition. I did great. I had fun. I like auditioning. For me, auditions are an opportunity for me to act. So 9 to 5 most days. I'm a dad. Right now, I'm building an NFT space. I'm building a film studio. I have another company called Beetle and Grimm's where we build high-end D&D products. So, but mostly I don't get a chance to act because I don't get a lot of auditions. So when I do get to go in audition, I work on it really hard because I like to act. I like acting. So they gave me, and this one audition was for this part, and it was like a huge monologue. So if you get a chance to work on a monologue, that's like a big chunk, and working on a big chunk is fun because it's just more to do. So I went to audition. It went great. I'm like, oh, great. And then they called me back and said, hey, everyone really likes you. We want to bring you back. We want it to be more serious. And I'm like, okay. Like more threatening? Like, yeah, okay. So I go back and I auditioned again, and they're like, you are really in the running. There's a good chance. Can you go to Atlanta? Like, what's your schedule look like? I'm like, you haven't told me the part. They're like, well, have you watched the show? I'm like, I haven't. And like, well, maybe you should watch the show. So I started binging The Walking Dead. So they're like, okay, here's the deal. We're going to bring you back one more time. The part we're bringing you back for is this part called Negan. And I'm like, okay, well, why does he have this bat with, he's like, yeah, because he's this big violent character. He kills a bunch of the leads, spoiler alert. So it's a big part. We really want you to come back. So I went back again. So I went back 3 times, which never happens. Normally I walk in, I get it, or I don't. Sometimes you'll do like a chemistry read, or sometimes you'll do a screen test. But I went back 3 times, and they're like, and at the 11th hour, like I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna get this job. I think it's gonna be big, and they end up going a different direction. So cut to about 2 years later, and every single con I go to, like you'll see somebody cosplaying as Negan. It went to Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who's a very different actor. He's lovely, but they just went like a totally masculine way, and I'm like was sort of like a more funny sort of, I don't know. I'm as however you would interpret me to be different than Jeffrey Dean Morgan. So I was going on stage for Twin Peaks down at Comic-Con, the big, in the big hall down there, and the producers and showrunner for The Walking Dead came up to me. He's like, you don't know me, you auditioned for Walking Dead. We're really super grateful if you came in. He's like, you don't know this, but you had the part for like 10 minutes. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, we had made an offer to Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He wasn't accepting. We started to audition people. You were the top choice, and he wasn't giving us a yes or no on the part. And so we moved on. And in the interim between, they got a hold of my agent and to tell me and sort of offer the part. His agent called and said he wants the part. And so he got the job. And that role is like, there's very few roles on television that are as iconic and sort of, as sort of big and long lasting as that one. So that one hurts. That one still hurts because I'll walk around, and I'll see people as dressed as Negan. By the way, this is Patty Hearst. I don't know if anyone saw that. It shows Patty Hearst wearing white shoes after Labor Day.
I feel like damn of that guy to tell you that you would have gotten it when you didn't need to know that after so long.
Well, I like it. I do like it because it sort of, I don't know. There's this idea.
I guess it means like you were right there, and clearly it's not like the part went to somebody who's the same type of actor. So that might have been worse, right? If it was someone type of similar, it was totally different direction that they went.
Yeah, it's usually that way, right? I mean, it's like, look, there's no wrong way to do a part. I'm a big fan of that, and that's normally what I bring into audition. I'm like, this is how look, my success is based on this idea that all I can do is me, and you're either going to like me and hire me, or you're going to like somebody else and hire somebody else. And the only way I can walk in and hold my head up as a man, as a human being, is to do what I think is interesting and do what I think is cool and do the way I would do the part. And that's what makes me original and different. So, so if you go a different way, if you go Jeffrey Dean Morgan, he and I are as diametrically opposed as can be. I mean, the dude's, he's super alpha, and I think that that's what they wanted in that part. I can be super alpha, but I would have been a little crazier and weirder and funnier. But I like it. Look, the continuation of that story was, he's like, someday we will work together. He's like, we will find a way to work together because you were awesome. I mean, he hasn't hired me yet, so I don't know what that means, but I'm available. He can call me if he hears this, if he's out there, if he is, dressed up as Tyler Vaughn or, Marine Dad. If that's you, you can hire me. I'm available.
Nice, awesome. Yeah, thanks for answering that. I'll see if it's raising the crowd, so I'll let them step up on here.
Right on.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. B.
Thank
Now,
you.
when they have you audition for that, you said you didn't know what the role was. Did they just give you generic lines? They changed the name of the character? Like, what was the way they kept it in the dark?
They kept it in the dark. Like, they it was text from the scene, but they just adapted it so that
you couldn't tell what it was.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's a big thing. I mean, right now Hollywood is so concerned with like spoilers and people finding out, and back in the day and doing Scream, nobody cared. I mean, nobody talked about it, and it just wasn't an issue then.
Yeah, and then that's the other thing you should bring up, like talking about auditions, is like when you go in for an audition, you're sitting in a room and there's usually like 12 other people that look almost identical to you. Like, I don't know if you want to talk about that. That's just like a weird. So it's like all you can bring to it is who you are, because the looks thing is they're pulling in people that are very similar. So it's
or they're not, right? Or you go into a room and it's diverse and different shapes and sizes, and So, and then you have to, I mean, the worst part is that you used to, I mean, now it's all changed. I mean, everything, because the pandemic, is so many things are online, so many things are submitting tapes. And I don't think it will ever go back to you sitting in a room, mano a mano, and looking at the guy across from you. I mean, there was one moment, like, you used to do this thing when you screen tested for TV shows. You would have to sign your contract, and the contract was worth 7 years. And so you'd have to sign the contract before you walked in the room. And they would line everyone up for that part. So there's like anywhere between 3 and 5 guys in that room, in the waiting room, and each one of you had to go out and sign a contract that had been negotiated out. So you had, you got this opportunity to dream about all the money you would make in success. And then you had to go in and you had to listen to people before you audition, and then you would have to walk in and audition yourself. And it was like so brutal. It was just it's such a brutal thing, because you're competing to feed your kids, right? I mean, you're walking into a room, like, look, most jobs have this performance element that you have to hunt and kill what you're gonna feed your family with. But as an actor, you're not selling a widget, you're selling yourself. And it's a lot of times a salesman will have another call the next day, or will be able to have other leads or whatever. But as an actor, you just don't get that many opportunities. So it's a brutal life, it's a brutal journey. And so you have to find something you love, and it has to keep you going, because it's not the money, it's not the success. It's got to be something different.
Hey, Matthew, can you hear me?
Yeah, brother. Hey, what's happening?
Hey, not much, man. I had a quick question for you.
Sure.
I think I know the answer. What would you consider your breakout role?
Dude, I'm still waiting for it. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it now. Look, it's that thing where you just never know. I think that the interesting thing in my career is I've been around for a long time, and so you can be that person. Hold on a sec. Let me turn off my notifications. You can be that person who finds me because you love Scream, right? I mean, we saw Stu Walker earlier. You can be that person that loves SLC Punk. You can be that person in 13 Ghosts, whatever. So like the breakout role is whatever it is for that person to have a relationship to my career. But I have never had that role that's sort of transcended. Look, the way I look at it is that, power is based on your ability to say yes or no. In our industry, you have power when you can light your own journey, right? And I make a joke earlier that I take a lot of the things I get. I don't. I mean, I pass on all kinds of stuff. I haven't done a horror movie since 13 Ghosts. So, but I've never had that role that gives you the power to make your own destiny, right? So the idea of like a breakout role, the idea that sort of like that role that puts you on the map, it's not, hasn't really happened for me, for the industry, right? I mean, the industry sort of looks at me like, I don't know, they think I'm a comedian. I've only done one comedy. Like I've been funny in movies, but they're usually because of life and death stakes. I mean, this is a comedy. Serial Mom's a comedy. And then, Senseless is a comedy. But everything else, I've been funny in movies, but I'm the comedic relief, but it's not a comedy.
To me, your breakout role was definitely Scream. I mean, you killed it in that one.
Thanks, man. Yeah,
that was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think if somebody had to say, like, if you had to look at my career, that's the first one that sort of made a difference. So now, it's not like a movies came rolling in right after that, but thanks, dude.
Did your life change after that role? That was my next question, but
no, I mean, I guess look, it's funny. So there's definitely a time in my life during that movie that I found myself sort of, because of who I was hanging out with after that, like the whole cast of Scream became very good friends. So we would go out all the time. I would hang out with Nev all the time. I would hang out with Skeet all the time. So at some point, I'll never forget, I was at a party after the Oscars. And I was standing at this after party, and I was in this circle, right? And Nev was talking to somebody, and I was right behind Nev. And I was in a circle, and right in front of me was Tom Cruise. And to my left was Tom Hanks, and to my right was Brad Pitt. None of them were talking to me. None of them had anything to do with me. I just want to make sure that it's super clear. Like, I wasn't in there fraternizing. I was like a guest of somebody who was in there fraternizing.
That's pretty cool, though, man.
But it is a cool thing. Like, you think back on your life, and you're like, oh, that was really, really crazy. That was crazy. But if you don't feel like it didn't change my life, right? None of those things changed my life. And look, I've been around for a long time. I've been doing it a long time. There's definitely, when I was younger, did I want to be more famous? Did I want to have more money? Did I want to have whatever, flash and sort of that, I don't know, that clout and that power? Yes, dude, totally. But at 52, I look back on my life and I'm blessed to have the career I've had. I mean, we're sitting here, it's Tuesday night. We're talking about me for an hour and a half, and it's humbling, and I'm lucky.
Dude.
I feel very
That's
blessed.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My wife wanted to give you a quick shout out for Good Girls. She loves that show.
Oh, word. Thank you. That was a good one.
She
We like
says
that
hello,
one.
by the way. She just got
tell her I hope she had a good day at work.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. Thank you so much.
Have a good day. Yep. Thanks, Anthony.
Thanks, Cam. Well, Matt already knows that Good Girls is my favorite thing.
Yeah. Well, that show was
I
like
busted him
huge.
for it the whole time till this evening happened in the joint chat over there for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
How did the birthday card go over, by the way? I got to ask.
The what?
The birthday card. Remember you sent the photo for the birthday card for her daughter?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. So
Did she believe you?
well, her
Finally?
birthday's on the 23rd, so I was
Oh,
planning
is
on
she
putting.
listening? Did
No,
I ruin it?
was.
Okay.
I was. No. She's not listening. She's
Okay.
sleeping. 10:38 p.m. School tomorrow.
Okay, good.
But
Nice.
I was planning on doing it her birthday card, but I'm like, until then, she's probably not gonna survive. No, I'm not gonna survive. I'm gonna ruin it like 25 times. So I just literally sent it to her on her phone and said absolutely nothing, and she sends back, and literally that's what she says. She says, "What the fuck?" Can I say what the fuck? And I was like, and I was like, you already said it. So she showed the whole school, and she was like, "This is amazing! I can't believe this happened." Like she was like,
So cool.
I've never been congratulated by the famous person." She's like a big Scooby Doo fan, so she was like losing her shit. She's super happy. She actually said to tell you hi. She popped in here before she went to bed, and she waved to the screen like if you were seeing her. But she was really, really excited.
I did see her. Tell her I miss her.
Okay, I'll tell her that.
Yeah. You guys, that was Serial Mom. None of us watched it. None of us.
I actually did.
Did you?
I was keeping an eye on. I want to ask, did you? How was Suzanne Summers? Because she was also a legend. Let's not
Amazing.
ignore that.
A gazillionaire. She did she had all these. These product launches that she
Three's
would
Company,
sell.
the Thigh Master, all that.
Thigh Master was huge. She's like, yeah. I mean, she was a gazillionaire. Her and her husband were both gazillionaires because of the Thigh Master. Wow. She's very sweet. Yeah. So that was it. So that was Serial Mom. Sorry, my funny story. My mom, and then I will stop talking and we'll go back to typing because I'm sure I'm boring the crap out of everyone now at this point, but. And then we'll take Stephen Miller's question as the last question. But we get done. I went to the premiere, and the premiere was in Baltimore, or Bolmore as Jody would call it. And they have an old theater there, and we got to put our hands in the cement at the theater. And it was a black tie affair to support the gay and lesbian center of Maryland or something, and it was this big event, and my mom and dad came, and my sister came, and my girlfriend came at the time, and we watched the movie. I'd never seen the movie. Watched the movie. I had seen the movie, and but we get in the car, the limo afterwards. We're going to the after party. I say to my mom, I was like, "So, what'd you think? It was my first movie." She goes, "Yeah, I'm not impressed." My mom hated the movie. And to this day, I'm like, how do you say to your son after the first movie he's ever been in? Yeah, well, it was not, I didn't love it. It's hilarious.
That's amazing.
That was hilarious. Anyways, should we bring up Stephen Miller?
Yeah. Yep.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Hey, yeah. How's it going, man?
Oh man, I am so pumped that you're in this space right now. It's super cool, man. I'm
thanks, dude.
I'm thinking fuck, dude, you're so open. You're so, yeah, in the NFT space, a lot of times we have a lot of people that are very, anonymous and everything like that. And so you just being really real and just being open about everything that you're doing and thinking and providing value there is just super amazing to me. And then what I want to ask you.
Well, let me just, as you're putting that in, as you start to think of that question, I just want you to know something that means a lot to me. It means a lot to Bill. We had the idea of building this project out. And we had the chance, obviously, to go undercover. I don't know, what's the opposite of dogs? Anon. So we can go anon, and we can build it that way. And the reality is, and this is my sort of argument to everyone who comes at me who says NFTs are scams or that we're a scam, is dude, my name's on it, and I walk in this life with integrity. I have 3 kids. I have a family. I have nothing but my name in this world, and so the last thing we're gonna do is run off into the night. And we're super open all the way through, and so you saying that to us is super powerful for us. So thank you for saying that.
Yeah, and it was very important that we wanted to be doxxed. We wanted like people to know who they're dealing with, and like on top of that, you know, we wanted to. The biggest thing for me is like we don't want just like some celebrity to come in, put their name on a project, and then disappear. Like you'll notice if you're in our Discord, like Matt's in there every day, hanging out, chatting with people. Like he's working on this project all the time. It's not just like, oh yeah, sure. Use my name, make a bunch of money. I'm gonna run off. It's like we are invested in this. This is our thing that we are building together. So it's very important for us to be doxxed and let everybody know that we're putting our name on this. So we want to offer as much quality.
I've been rugged by like one of those celebrity things or whatever, and I know a ton of other people have been, and so it definitely is like one of those things. You're like celebrity getting involved in something. You're like pause.
Red flag, right?
Yeah, man. But the fact that you're like really putting everything out there gives me a lot of confidence, and also a lot of pause on what you guys might be building. That sounds really, really freaking cool.
Thanks. Yeah.
We might have some waitlist spots coming.
Yeah.
Oh, give me one.
Send Eve.
I was one of the other things I was thinking about is like you mentioned about selling yourself. And I think that's a really important thing, not only in this space, but just in general. And I think, I wonder if you have any value add on or comments on selling yourself to, getting involved in some of those, getting involved in, acts or movies or gigs or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's a good question. Dude, that's a good question. Look, here's the thing I believe. I believe that you sell yourself for stuff that you are chasing, right? That you are a commodity, and if you don't believe in yourself, there ain't nobody's gonna believe in you. So you have to sell yourself because you have to believe that you are worthy of the next step. First of all. Second of all, you have to chase the things that matter to you, right? The universe only has so much like attention, and so you have to be building things, or you have to care about things, or put energy towards things that give you something back other than just money.
Yeah, and one thing I'll say is when you do get those opportunities, it's like just put the work in. I mean, you'd be surprised at how much just like doing your job, like when you get an opportunity on set, like whether it's a PA, an intern, whatever, just doing your job, being competent, and that goes a long way because there's a lot of incompetency in this business. I hate to say it, but there's an old saying where it's like you can only fail up in the movie industry, and it's very true when you start to meet people. You're like, how did this person get this job? But when you go into a job and you're just doing the work, you're delivering, you're impressing people just by working hard, and I guess it's that Midwest like work ethic. It goes a long way. It really does.
Yeah, and I just to yes and that moment, be authentic. Look, I think that if you are your authentic self, whether you get the job or not, whether you succeed or not, whether you end up marrying the person or not, like you is the only way to maintain your self-confidence. You have to be your authentic self, or else you're just walking around pretending. And my whole thing is like to live a life of pretend sucks.
Yeah, it'll eat you away.
It will eat you away. So be your authentic self, and I think that. And I think that if you are your authentic self and you have a point of view and you have vision, like the people will follow. And that's what we're trying to build, right? That's why we're here. That's why I'm talking so much. I'm trying to let people in so that they see what we're doing.
Yeah, and again, like in our Discord, we're trying to offer people as much, opportunity to get into the film industry if that's what they want to do. Like right now, we have a bunch of job listings we just put up. Like for, if anybody in the audience is in Atlanta, we have an open job position that we're, looking for resumes for through some connections of ours on a Lionsgate movie. We posted some stuff from the Discovery Channel. Like, I mean, we're always wanting to offer as much as we can to our community.
Yeah. Speaking of community, our mods are out there. Christ is out there. Serial Mommy's a community manager. OG is a community manager. Like
Baloo.
if Baloo, I don't see Baloo out there, but anyways,
he's probably sleeping right now. He's in Australia.
Yeah. We are nothing without them, so I'd be foolish to stand up here I'm sitting here drinking a beer. It'd be foolish to sit here and drink a beer and not say, God bless you, we love you, thank you so much. Yeah, but let's thanks for that question, Stephen Miller.eth. And we should probably go for people throw us off stage.
Yeah, that's true. We're gonna get the hook.
Real quick, gotta know what kind of beer you're drinking.
I'm drinking Stella Artois Midnight Lager, which is like a can of oil.
Yeah, I know exactly what that is.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's pretty delicious, actually.
Good stuff.
Hey, dude, thank you for having us. That was huge for us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah,
it's
no, likewise, man. Thanks for coming up.
Thank you for coming. Yeah.
Thank you, Risky, for putting it together. Thank you, OG, for putting it together.
Yeah.
I know we're giving away whitelist spots. How does that work, Bill?
I think we're gonna do a contest, so they're gonna put up like a giveaway. You know, people have to be in our Discord kind of thing.
We'll do
more
regular
details
like
will
we
come.
do.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And hopefully we can do some more stuff in the future because we want this to be like an ongoing partnership. Not just like a one-off thing. So yeah, if people had a good time, maybe there's some more stuff down the road.
And the only ask we have is that if you dig us and you check us out, our white papers are awesome. And
give those a read.
Tell people because that's our. I mean, the thing is, we don't have that Twitter following that you had when you guys launched, and it's all coming now, but it's been it's been a minute, and it's coming from people like experiencing nights like tonight. So thanks for having us, dude.
Yeah, for
Thank
sure.
you
And I
for
just wanna
coming.
say, go ahead, Russ.
No, I was just saying thanks for coming. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say respect on doxing your guys' selves as well.
Thank
you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Do you want to give out that POAP code one more time in case some new people joined during the way?
If you missed it earlier, download the POAP app. It's POAP, and you'll type in at the bottom. There'll be a thing that says Mint. You click that, it'll pop up, and you'll see like a secret phrase. Click that button, and you can use the word serial, all lowercase, as in serial mom, not as in serial killer from hackers. There's a lot of serial stuff around Matt Lillard. Use the word serial, lowercase, and you can collect your POAP, which is a free NFT that proves that you were here and you attended the movie. It stands for Proof of Attendance Protocol, by the way, for those wondering.
Thank you
awesome.
so much.
Thank you, guys.
Cool.
Awesome.
Well, I'm gonna see you in the joint chat, and I've got interest from us in communities to meet you guys. So we're gonna handle all that in DMs.
Nice.
Cool. Great.
Awesome.
Yep.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good night.
Everybody could join too. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, much love.